Throwing now, Taylor on first down. Eluding the pressure right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-0 is our score. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Now they'll throw with Taylor. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets it down to the 32. Give him 2 yards on that play. And just like that, it's third down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And McManus able to put it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Adam Gotsis, the big Aussie, in on the tackle.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Third down from the gun, Dalton. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken in at the 22. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he's been busy with his feet. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And Dobbs is going to be swallowed up as he'll go down. Carlos Dunlap in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Out of the gun, Dobbs steps away to his left. Open man is Holmes. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big gain of 31 on third down. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
Dobbs is throwing. To the right side, complete to Taylor. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Dobbs throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Dobbs now on 2nd down. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at about the 31.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 42. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the 2nd half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Su'a Cravens in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Here's Shane Leckler now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He has not had the start to this game that he envisions here in the second quarter. He's struggling a little bit. But, hey, they're in the lead right now. So kind of what's going on in his head, do you think, Charles?
I think that's what he has to keep in mind. Winning the ball game is not going the way he wants in terms of his own play. But, oh, yeah, that's right, winning the ball game. Defense. So don't press. Don't try and do things outside of what's going on right now. Don't try to increase your game or get yourself right. Just make sure you continue to lead your ball club and keep them moving in the right direction.
And they've got that lead so far. 1 interception for him, no touchdown passes. On first down, Dobbs to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So a little extra on top of the big play there.
It's tough for guys rushing the passer, but you have to know when the ball is gone. And if you listen, officials will tell you ball's gone. He didn't pull up. So
now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. They'll run it now out of the gun. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Flex round! Flex round!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Drops it underneath for Booker. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On second down, Dobbs. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. All right, here now a look at A.J. Green. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. routes, or the best routes in football, hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just one catch for him. That one goes for 24 yards. First and 10 for Dalton. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Second and 10. Dalton once more. And that'll be incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Shane Leckler now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And Denver getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. The Broncos on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. He can run for it, and he will. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Here's A.J. Green as he gets set to go again on offense. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just...
And the Broncos get there and take him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Dalton now to pass. He gets this one to Boyd. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's Shane Leckler now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And this will be taken at the 13. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he'll power his way up near the 25. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We start with 2 teams that played for the AFC Championship in years gone by. The Chargers traveling to Pittsburgh. And it's the Steelers who are out in front. The Steelers seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, we head over to Detroit. Check on the Lions at home, Ford Field. And you can see there, it's the visiting LA Rams who have the lead in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Jared Goff. Finally, we're off to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. 2 touchdown passes there for the former MVP, Matt Ryan. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 4 yards there on the carry. Gets it back to 2nd and 11.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Wide open receiver complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. The linebacker, Preston Brown, brings him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Being chased out left. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right
Still
tackle.
second down.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Geno Atkins, the Pro Bowler, in there on the stop.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The Broncos on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now back to throw. Forced out to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you. And in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here we go with a player's spotlight, and we shine that spotlight. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
You know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Andy Dalton now just 7 of 16 passing thus far, but he's got a 1st and 10. So Dalton now. Green's got it over the middle. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
But they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he's got this down to the 35.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A first down throw coming for Dalton. Open man is Uzomah. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Second down, Dalton. And he's got Decker, left side. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Looking for Boyd, and he's got him. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. That's one of those touchdown tosses where if it's an inch to the right or left, it's not a touchdown. He had to put it right on the money.
Yeah, and how did he do that? Everything around him, everything swirling, all the coverage downfield. Somehow he spotted the opening and put it right there.
Now on the return, Brendan Langley. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he's a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Watch it now, Barney.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Flush to his right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Preston Brown, the linebacker. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. It's Mixon on the counter. Broken tackle. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Giovanni Bernard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
Now the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And coming out now, the Broncos. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. On the give, this is their fullback. And he stopped immediately there. It was Ryan Glasgow who got him down. On 3rd and short, this is Janovich. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Over the middle, it's Holmes. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
No. Check. Patriot.
Booker on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that second down play.
No, it's all in your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
On 3rd down, that's Lindsey. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And McManus able to put it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. A good start there on 1st down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Decker. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Big spot. Andy Dalton. He's got his man, Boyd. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there.
False start, offense.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. All right, here's Dalton. On the screen, Bernard. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage. So now Dalton. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. C.J. Uzomah, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals have got it back to a 1-score game.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job 1. Now they have to convert. And then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard, and the time left on the clock, as you noted, so many things to go through.
And the Broncos are going to get the football. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And they'll run it here. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th.
Here we go now. 3-19.
The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
Play clock all the way to 0. Didn't get the snap off. 5-yard penalty.
And you see the head coach writing that note on his play sheet right now. He's going to be addressing that with his staff. A sense of urgency, get to the line of scrimmage, snap the ball.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It's do or die for Dalton. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.